only, please. 0772 300 305. And our guest, of course, is the one, the only, Mano Ganeshan. Very good evening to you, Mr.
Very good evening to you.
Straight away, I want to ask you this question. Why should anyone vote for you?
And I am Mano Ganeshan, registry here, Colombo District MP, and I represent the Tamil community here, generally started presenting. Now I am covering the Muslims, and as a Sinhalese also, become a Sri Lankan MP here. On the other hand, I am the leader of the TPA, Tamil Progressive Alliance, which is present in Tamil community, living outside northern eastern provinces. Yeah.
And on that basis alone, they should vote for you?
Obviously, not only that, just starting with that.
What about development in Colombo? What are your plans for when your party, the SJB, the main partner, when you all get elected, what are your plans to develop?
That process already started during our government.
Right.
Colombo City I'm talking about. Colombo City has a housing issue, education, infrastructure. These are the issues, and apart from that...
Where's all the housing for the people who were knocked out of their, under the previous government, under the other Rajapaksa?
Take it from me.
Yeah.
We never evicted anybody outside from the outside.
No, I didn't say you all did, but those people were evicted in a previous government.
Yes.
Then you all did what?
We have given
in 4.5 years. What did you all do?
Please come with me, visit Colombo North.
Right.
The slums have gone down, number of slums have gone down.
Right.
Thanks to UDA, my good friend, Champik Ranavaka. UDA did a good part. We have constructed at least 10,000 units of houses there.
Out of how many do you need?
Pardon?
How many do you need?
We need 20,000. The 10,000 will come. We had planned. So 10,000 is...
Why couldn't you finish it in the 4.5 years?
Lack of funds. Whatever funds we had.
Because some of these funds are mismanaged.
No, not that so.
I don't want to remind you, Mr. Ganeshan, but there was something called the bond scam.
That's a different issue. I'm talking about housing.
Yeah.
Housing, yes.
But if we had, it's all in the same pot.
Yeah, obviously. You may say yes. I may say yes.
State,
yes. But anyway,
what did you
we
feel?
addressed the housing issue.
Right. What did you feel, by the way, as a member of that alliance?
Yeah.
How did you feel when News First reported wide and fairly about the bond scam?
Honestly, I was ashamed being part of the government and the cabinet.
Because from the north to the south, from the east to the west, the people of this country, from the hills to the flatlands, everywhere, the people of this country fully aware of what happened at the central bank. They may not know the difference between a bond and a bill and so on, but they all knew Mahabankota game Mekadunna. So, did you really feel bad about it? Did you ever speak to Ranil Wickremesinghe about it?
We spoke, we discussed.
Yeah, and what did he say?
Obviously, this is what happened, because now they were giving the explanations, but we were listening to them, but we were part of the government. We are talking about it in the cabinet, as well as party leaders meetings and group meetings.
Mano Ganeshan, you were previously elected through a UNP alliance.
Yeah.
Now you've joined the SJB.
Yeah.
Loyal voters are generally with the UNP in the Colombo district.
No,
how will you get elected in the SJB?
It's only a technical issue.
Right.
The whole UNP is with us now, SJB. It is not division or breakup. It's not so.
So it's just a...
It's maybe 50-50 or 60-40 or 70-30 or 90-10. It is 99% of the UNP is here.
So why is Mr. Wickremesinghe hanging on?
Because they have a constitution, the party constitution is giving him power. And
that was tweaked all over the years, 26 years as leader.
Yes, anyway, I can't speak much about it because I'm not a UNPer.
Right.
I'm an alliance partner, alliance party leader. I can't speak about it, but this is what I know.
Are you happy with UNP? Are you happy now that you're in an alliance which does not include Mr. Wickremesinghe?
Yes, I'm happy. Okay. I'm happy.
Now then,
I have no personal issues with Mr. Wickremesinghe, but I think he should go now.
I want to talk to you something really almost a mantra on Newsline Live, and that is the plight of what I call the line room occupants. Sri Lanka has a proud record of tea production, some say around 200 years. Well, you know, that may be true, but 200 years later, if it is 200 years, 200 years later, it is unacceptable, is it not, Mr. Ganeshan, that there are large numbers of workers who have dedicated their generations of working life to producing the finest tea in the world, and it's a crying shame that they have to live in those terrible conditions. What have you done about it?
Yeah, the shame should be shared by all the successive governments and leaders of this country.
Of course.
Well, obviously now, well, within our government, we started the process of constructing individual houses. We had MOUs with Government of India, and also Sri Lankan funds were available. We collected the funds and started constructing it. Long way to go.
How many houses do you need, and how many houses have we got?
At least 50,000 houses needed. We have completed 10,000 houses.
Right.
Yes.
Long way to go.
A long way to go, but the process started. That's the big thing. Because we have been power in
Are these houses
under 4 years.
Are these houses with title deeds?
Yes, title deeds. Own 7 purchase of land.
Right.
On it the houses are standing.
So is there enough of land to give all these people?
Yes. There are land.
State land?
Yes, state lands, yes.
With proper title deeds?
Yes, that is
Okay.
what.
So you've addressed that part.
But this is be done through a cabinet memorandum
Yeah.
approved by the cabinet. And
Which
as well as
cabinet?
Our cabinet.
Okay.
Yes.
And the implementation process is going on?
Yes.
What has this new sort of caretaker government done about it?
No, they have done nothing about it. In fact,
Do you expect them, if y'all are not elected, and if they are elected, do you expect them to do nothing, or do you think that they will do something?
they will have to do it. They'll continue with the process.
Yeah.
They can't say, they can't go back, because the government of India was also involved.
Yeah.
The government of India is funding, and
Right.
Sri Lankan funding is also coming in. That
Right.
is the process. The way process system we have constructed there, established there. So they'll have to continue with that.
Right.
Yes.
Still up country, what was this, why did Mr. Ali Sabri from the other side says that because of this 150,000 votes, they couldn't implement the law. That means if in the pursuit of votes you can change the law. There was not supposed to be a public outpouring. How come there was a big gathering, 150,000 people, 100,000 people?
You're talking about late Armand and Man's funeral.
Well, I'm talking about a funeral, yeah.
Yes. Too bad.
Because doesn't that show a disparity between, one rule for us and one rule for them, the politicians?
Nowhere in the country there should be a set of rules for different people, different segments. It can't be like that.
But sadly,
one country,
but sadly, that's a nice slogan. One country,
Ali
one
Sabri,
rule.
a good friend, should ask his leader,
Yeah.
president or the prime minister, because it's done by them. It's their side.
Now then, still on country.
Yeah.
Why didn't you make? You're a Tamil leader. Mr. Tondaman was
I'm a Sri Lankan leader.
and a Sri
He was in
Lankan.
Tamils.
Yes.
Primarily, that's right.
Of course, but so was Mr. Tondaman. Why didn't you make a speech at his funeral?
No, I was the first opposition party leader to visit Talangam Hospital,
Yeah.
same day, same night. And I visited Mr. Bhatramal residence and paid my respects at the parliament. I was to go there at Norwood on that Sunday, but my party senior died in Colombo, so I had to be here. But anyway, Mr. Radhakrishnan, deputy leader of our TPA Alliance, was there representing us.
So you sent a representative.
Yes, representative.
Would you have liked to have made a speech?
Yes, he was to speak. He had made a speech there, but he was not given opportunity. In fact, the day before night, I spoke to the government agent. Really, but I thought we were given to understand that it is a state funeral. But the government agent said no, it's partly state funeral. But if it is state funeral, the list would have prepared by the district secretary. It is not so.
Now then, I want to ask you this. What's happening with this 1,000 rupee business?
Yes, it is not 1,000 rupee. Already the estate plantation worker is getting 760.
Yeah.
That's 240 is the issue. But 240 we tried our best, but during our government tenure, it was blocked by Honorable Naveen Dissanayake, my good friend. Because Naveen Dissanayake, being the Minister of Plantations, he always sided with the plantation companies, openly saying that with all the responsibility. Here Mr. Ranil Wickramasinghe, the Prime Minister, knows about it, but he failed to administer his minister.
It seems that Mr. Ranil Wickramasinghe failed on many many items.
I don't know, but this is the particular failure. I can...
And the bond. Mustn't
Yes,
forget
please.
the bond.
Yes.
I need to ask you this question because somebody sent it. Will you ever join the port tour?
Pardon?
Will you ever join the port tour?
There is no necessity for that.
No, is the necessity is here or there, but will you, the question is, will you join the port tour ever?
No, I can't say I will never join or join.
Okay.
This is a question which is very illogical, I think so. Because now we are part of the SJB. We are part of the SJB. We are partners of the SJB. We established SJB. So we have a journey, long journey with Sajid Premadasa, a good friend and the leader of the SJB.
So your intention is not to join the port
Yes.
tour? Right. We're coming off for a break soon, but when we come back, perhaps we'll ask you a few more questions, and hopefully you'll provide us the answers.
Please.
Are we? Well, no, we've still got time. So let me ask you, now then, what's your action plan? What is your party's plan? What do you all plan to do when will you get a majority?
Yes.
Your alliance will get a majority.
Yes.
Then what is your plan? Apart from giving the president a hard time, what actual development plan have you got?
Yes, we have a leader
Yeah,
who's young, comparatively young.
yeah,
And we have a young team
yeah.
within us, within SJB. And there's a basic difference between us and the current government and the former UNP government. And we have no corruption charges. Fresh. Look at the...
Are you all going to be experimenting, or are you going to
No.
be actually doing?
Not experimental. Not experimental. We have a plan.
You have a plan.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
got an action plan.
Yes, action plan. We are going forward. Because now, this country is basically as an ethnic issue, national issue. But national issue has to be addressed.
But the national issue today is
Yeah.
actually the economy, not
No,
anything
no.
else.
But I say there is ethnic issue also,
Yes, of course.
which is contributing to the most of the failures of the other arenas also. So therefore, we'll address that also
Yeah.
within Unitary Sri Lanka. That will be addressed.
Right.
Because this country is a country has many languages, many religions, many ethnicities. So we recognize that. While recognizing that, we will go forward, move forward with the people's economy plan. Go forward.
Manu Ganeshan, thank you thus far. You're doing very well. Thank
Yeah.
you very much for being on the program.
Thank you.
But on that note, we're going for a short break. We'll be back. We're in conversation with Mr. Manu Ganeshan, who's hoping to be elected to the Parliament from the Colombo district for and on behalf of the SJB. Don't go away. After all, this is Newsline Live. We'll be back shortly.
News First, Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.
And welcome back to Newsline Live. We're in conversation with Mr. Manu Ganeshan, who's hoping to be elected as a Member of Parliament from the Colombo district. Mr. Ganeshan, again, thank you very much for coming on our program and for being upfront and
It's
open.
my pleasure.
Now then, I want to ask you about this. The talk of the town these few days has been Karunaman, about what he said and so on. What's your stance on that?
Yes, it's too bad that he came up with that opinion of killing or murdering or destroying a number of lives
Yeah.
and being taking a kind of credit out of it or being proud of it and exposing himself as a brave person who done that.
Yeah.
That issue, war, terrorism, everything, we will have to leave it to the history and look forward. This is the right time to do that.
Do you think he should be prosecuted?
I think
Really?
so. It is left to the lawmakers.
But
to make
he's
laws,
been
but as well as CID is always
he's
investigating.
been out and free, living freely for the last 15 years or so. Now then, out of those 15 years, 5 years or nearly 5 years was under the Palana government. Nobody wanted to arrest him.
No, this is the time he has made a confession. That's the high point. He had been there.
So you
he
mean
had been
until
there.
then nobody knew?
No, not that. But this is what There's a question, I agree.
Yeah.
There's some logic. But here, above all, he has made a public statement of being part of that kind of a activity.
Okay, so one side say, but your government didn't do anything about it. And
Now, why pull our government now? This
Because-
has happened now.
Yes.
In front of us, it has happened now.
Yeah.
So he has made a statement.
No,
and
no.
he's not denying it also.
Can some people say, well, it's like he's a crown witness because he
maybe.
came over.
No.
He was Ranil Wickremesinghe. We mustn't forget
Yeah.
the things that Ranil did.
Yeah.
I mean, it was under his watch that Mr. Aman decided to come over.
Yeah.
And the famous escape story and so on. That's
Yes.
like history.
Yeah.
But so Ranil got him in.
Yeah.
Then if you're saying he should be prosecuted, but on the other hand, he's like a crown witness.
Let me explain it.
Yeah.
Now, CID is already investigating now.
Right.
Police has started the investigations. Let us wait until what's the outcome of it.
Is this just a political gimmick that they're doing?
I do not know. But however, the way the government leaders are trying to protecting him,
Yeah.
gives some hint on that.
In that direction?
Yes, direction. Because now when Karuna, by speaking making such a statement, he think he is being a popular figure within his district. On the other hand,
yes.
it reminds the war to the Sinhalese community also, which we wanted to forget, move forward.
To all our viewers who are based overseas, thank you for tuning in and watching us through Facebook, YouTube and so on. And the link is also available. If you want it, send us an SMS 0772 300 305. And one question, I think this is coming from the UK. What significant steps were taken by the Aparna government for national reconciliation, besides talking about this sensitive topic for the Tamil people? If you all did take significant steps, why are you still talking about national reconciliation?
We did, and being a minister responsible for that subject,
Yeah.
the basic difference between this government and our Yapana government, with all these setbacks, we had a high point that we recognize this country as a Sri Lankan identity with diversity as our strength. Now diversity is no more here. Diversity is not recognized. There's a difference between us. We were for 3 languages, 4 religions, and a number of ethnic groups here living in this country. That's diversity. Diversity is not a weakness. Diversity is our strength.
Yeah.
That was our policy during our.
And another question, do you think that Mr. Premadasa will ever support a new secular federal constitution?
Nobody is talking about secularism now, because the constitution today recognizes the prime placement recognition for the Buddhism. Buddhism is not just, I don't think it's just a religion, it's beyond that, it's a vision.
Yeah.
It can cover all of us.
Yeah.
There's no issue about it. I think during our last government, when discussing on the new constitution process also, even TNA and TPA, all of us agreed with that. There is no issue about it.
Would you welcome another commission to investigate allegations against Karuna Aman?
Yes, let us wait until the outcome of the CID investigation right now. Let us not jump the gun.
Jump the gun.
Jump the gun on a
unfortunate choice of words. But anyway, and to all those who are sending us text messages about the quality of the audio, engineers are on it. We are broadcasting from a temporary studio, and they're working hard to making your listening and viewing pleasure memorable. Thank you for putting up with us. Now then, almost last and final question. The MCC agreement.
Yes.
What's your stand on that?
No, the MCC agreement,
Yeah.
in that case, our SJB stand is well known now, because we have our leader has declared our stand.
Yeah.
Very much, and we don't have to close down our windows and doors in respect of the international cooperation.
Yeah.
That is one way. On the other way around, MCC has been rejected and the contents were disagreed by this current government while they were in the opposition. But right now, the stand is very much entirely changed, and they're talking about the contents, not the MCC, as it was so. So now it is up to the government to tell us, tell the whole nation what difference they see in the MCC now than what it was earlier.
Professor Gunarwan says that in his report, says that two agreements were signed, one to enhance the previous one, and that there is some mention of a total of $10 million. And he also says that there is no evidence to show that that has come in through the finance ministry.
Yes.
Has it come? Is it mysterious?
I think it's mysterious. The whole issue is mysterious very much.
And also, the American
Yes.
statement is very simple. It says that no money has been paid from the 480 million
Yes.
grant.
Yes.
They are not really talking about the $10 million.
Yes, yes. They are at a point. Sri Lankans are not fools.
Do you think, what is your personal view?
I think personally I believe there had been some money being coming to the Sri Lankan coffers from the Americans. But maybe it's not part of the 400 million, but the other way around, push it.
Maybe for preliminary work.
Obviously.
But shouldn't that money have come in through the treasury?
But this can't go on like this in a couple of weeks, couple of months' time.
Yeah. But you know, this government, we have Mahinda Rajapaksa, the finance minister,
Yes.
and Nandasena Gotabaya as the president.
Yeah.
Are you calling on them to investigate and let us know what's happening? Did this money ever come?
Not
Did it not come?
investigate. They should tell us, inform us.
Yeah.
Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa is the Minister of Finance.
Yeah.
And His Excellency, the President, is the head of the state, head of the government.
Yeah.
They should come out with the truth. That's what I say. So far it is all mystery.
Why would they, I mean, politically it would be good for them if they can expose it. So why are they not doing it? Is it true? Did the money not come? This big superpower signs an agreement with tiny Sri Lanka for about $10 million and then they don't pay.
No, during the campaign for the president's election, this MCC was a high point for them. Now it is all turned around.
Yeah.
It's some kind of shame now. They're ashamed. So they can't come out with the truth right now.
Shame for whom?
For them. Because they opposed this. They rejected this.
Yes.
Disagreed with this. They said they called it a sellout.
What's your alliance's view on it?
Pardon?
What is the view of your alliance? Will you sign? Do you want it?
No, Mr. Sajid Premadas, the leader of our alliance, on behalf of our alliance, has clearly declared his intentions that we are not for MCC.
Right. So that's the final thing.
Yes, that is the stand as it is now.
Last and final question, Mano
Yes.
Ganeshan. How many seats will you get, the SJB?
Let me be honest with you.
Yeah.
When I signed the nomination papers in March 19th, I thought we'll get not more than 60. Now it has
6-0?
60. Now I believe, with all the responsibility, we'll reach between 75 to 80. Day by day we're increasing, we're coming up, developing.
I'm extending an invitation to you, Mr. Mano Ganeshan, to appear on Newsline Live on the 7th of August.
Obviously.
And come in and let's talk about the numbers.
But 75 today, but we have 1 month more, 20 days more campaign.
So you're going to get even more?
Yes, obviously.
So the bottom line is 75. Mano Ganeshan, thank you very much. We've enjoyed having you on the program. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome, a great pleasure. And that's the way it was on Newsline Live. Take care, have a great evening ahead of you, and of course, God bless.